Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pentiment, the morose monastic murder mystery set in the town of Tassing. But you guys know all that, don't you? Anyway, so we are back here in the church, and we're meeting up with our boy Sebhat for a spot of dinner, because, it's dinner time, and we have promised him we'd meet him for some lunch or for some dinner, but we haven't done it yet, so we're going to do it now, goddammit. We're going to fulfill our promises. Let's do it. Andreas, I'm sorry about what is happening to Brother Piero. I do not know him well, but I find it hard to believe he could have killed the Baron. He didn't, and I'm going to find out who did. Do you have any idea who might have done it? Did you see anything? That's a good question. Sadly, no. Well, that's no good. Most mornings I spend my time reading in the courtyard, but the rain made that impossible. And although the brothers are friendly, I do not know them well enough to speculate. I'm sorry. I know it might be far from your mind, but have you considered my offer to eat with you and the townspeople? The gospel says that man cannot live on bread alone, but from time to time, a little bread is required. I need to continue looking for the Baron's murder, perhaps later. Well, I don't think there's anything else. Of course, I'll talk to Gret and see who she wants to come along. Not now, perhaps later. Well, I don't think there's anything else that we can really do now, because, the game is kind of indicating that it is dinner time for us. So, yeah, let's have dinner with him. At the shrine to St. Moritz, I'll see you there. Until then. Oh my, Andreas. Yes? Are these all of the mothers from Tassing and their children? Well, no, I don't think it's all of them. Helena Pfefferin couldn't make it. It's a long walk up here in her condition. And Hedy and Hans was too big for for stories. Stories? I may have said something about your books. Oh, I like stories. Yes, maybe a little too much. Ha, alright. I can tell you a story. But first, let us pray together and eat. Is Sebhat really going to feed everyone? O Lord, thank you for bringing us together as you brought Jesus to his disciples on the road to Emmaus. With the breaking of bread between us, let us recognize each other as Christians and rejoice in our salvation through you. Amen. Amen. That's a very different grace than the one we're used to, isn't it? And I thank you and your husband for this bread, Gret. My Ulrich always says that bread brings people together. I don't know. I think we could see some real trouble in Tassing if you ever ran out of rye. I missed this when I was in Florence. Okay, what are we going to start with? Cheese. Well, all we've got is cheese and bread, so this is a really simple dinner. Oh, and almonds. Alright, let's go with the good stuff first. Let's go with the almonds. I'm a bit disappointed. Back in the Bowers, we left the chicken for last, and we didn't even get the chicken. So we're learning that lesson. Eat the good stuff first. They don't have bread in Florence? Wah! Where's Florence? South, over the mountains. Last week, the blonde lady at our house with the pretty clothes, she was from Florence. Ooh. Father Gurno eats a white bread, does he not? Yes, the finest wheat... Did it say white or wheat? The finest wheat is used for the abbot's bread. Why? The abbot is a very important man, Paul. We have a bread in my house that we call injera. It makes it thin, round, and wide, and we put all our food on top of it. Gotta see what this is. No, it's not telling us what injera is. We eat it with almost every meal. As you love the bread of your home, so I miss mine. Alright, let's have some bread. Some rye bread. Oh, what's the recipe? Maybe we could make it. Thank you, but no. We use a fine grain that does not grow here, called teff. Surely someday you'll go home and can have your fill of it. I hope you find your local bread satisfying, Brother Sebhat. I do enjoy it, perhaps too much. I am becoming too accustomed to life in Rome, even life in these mountains. In truth, I can no longer remember the taste of injera, not even the feeling of it in my mouth. It is a great danger that comes with the blessing of travel, living a life between worlds. Okay. And now the almonds. I don't want to talk about bread anymore. It's so boring. Bread. Brr. Poof. Don't be rude, Bert. I did say I would tell a story. Children, have you ever seen a Bible? Father Tom? Yeah, Father Thomas has one. It's huge. My dad has one. It was printed in Bamberg. Very good. This is a Bible from my home that I have brought to give to the abbot. Andreas, do you have a favorite story to illustrate from the Bible? Adam and Eve at the tree of knowledge of good and evil, Jacob wrestling with the angel, the Annunciation when Gabriel appears to Mary, Elijah with the chariots of fire, Christ being taken down from the cross. Or what's a good one here? Adam and Eve? The tree of knowledge of good and evil? That's a nice one. Yes, at the beginning of it all, the fall of man. It is good for us to remember of what we lost in Eden. Now then, children, do you know the story of Jesus feeding the multitudes? Fish and loaves. My mom and dad make loaves. Oh, cool. This is from our Bible, how we tell a story of how Jesus fed thousands from only a few fish and a few loaves of bread. Why is everyone brown? Because where I am from, everyone looks like me. Why? Because we are all as God has made us. I know testing seems big to you, but the world is so much bigger than we can imagine. There are many people of many different colors all over the world. There are places where no one looks like you or me. Really? It's true. In Venice I saw people come from across the Mediterranean Sea. Not just like Brother Sebhat, but people of different places and cultures even farther away. Persians, Moors, Ottomans, each with their own way of speaking and dressing, their own customs. Brother Sebhat, did you know the Baron who was murdered? Are we gonna... It's not showing us anything, is it? Well, I suppose because we've already seen those things. Bert! It came up when I was visiting the Druckers. I needed someone to talk to. I think he's old enough to understand death. Sorry, Marie. There's nothing to apologize for. We can't shield him from the world forever. I did not know him, Bert. But do you know the story of Lazarus? No? He was a friend of Jesus. He became sick and he died. Died. Hat. But Jesus brought his followers to Lazarus' tomb. He prayed to God, and when they opened the tomb, Lazarus emerged, returned from the dead. Jesus can bring people back from the dead? He can, Bert. One day Jesus will bring us all back from the dead. Everyone who has ever lived and died will come together and be resurrected on Judgment Day. He's just taking her hat. Should we say something? Nah, let's just... Oh, she's just being... She's just being adorable. Even the Romans? Yes, the Romans too. What? I love how she's, like, they're interacting with the story. It's brilliant. Why did you ask about the Romans? I saw one come out of their tomb like Lazarus. What do you mean, Paul? Well, the ruins below the mill, they're Roman, and they all died a long time ago. But I saw one come out the other night. They were in white, like Lazarus. Let's stop telling stories, Paul, and you shouldn't have been outside at night. Ooh, could he have seen the ghost or something? Andreas, what does he mean? I don't know, it's troubling to be sure. I think I may have seen something similar the other evening. It must have been something else. That's the only rational explanation. The church recognizes that spirits do exist separate from flesh. Maybe it's possible. I know of texts, rituals that an educated man could use to attempt to summon a spirit. Like, it must have been something else. That's the only rational explanation. I mean, what are we going to go with here? I mean, we did see something similar the other evening. But it couldn't have been a... Yeah, I mean, it has to be something else. There are things in this world beyond our understanding, Andreas. Perhaps the boy did see something supernatural. I don't think so. Apologies for that, ladies, but thank you for sharing a meal with me today. I will be leaving for Rome soon, but I am glad to have spent some time with you and your children. Thank you, Brother Sebhat. It was wonderful. Don't forget to stop by the bakery before you go. I'm sure my husband will want to see you before you go. I will. God grant you all health. Okay, Matt, 17 hours remain. Oh, we don't have long. I should get some sleep. Oh, hello. What's this? Brother Matthew maintains his shrine along with some of the sisters who paint badges for pilgrims. And I don't think we've seen this yet, have we? A reliquary containing the hand of St. Moritz, which is said to have been once held the Holy Lance. Oh yeah, maybe we have seen this, actually. Alright, so I'm guessing it's bedtime. So, let's head back. Yeah, so it does look like time is slowly running out, but... I mean, let's just check the ruins quickly. Collapsed. Must have allowed access to the aqueduct. Charles' drawings, I wonder who the artist is. Yeah, nothing there. Okay. Nothing there. Yeah, so I'm hoping we'll have occasion to finish our investigation. That's Zimmerman's house. Wait, where am I going? Oh? Vorslav? Andreas, Christ, there you are. Brother Vorslav, what's the matter? Don't tell me there's been another killing. Are you alright? You look terrible. Yeah, Brother Vorslav, what's the matter? It's the Archdeacon. He's come early, with an entire retinue in tow. Oh, crud. He's questioning everyone who knew the Baron and Brother Piero. I've already told him a little I know. He expects to speak with you tomorrow at Non's. He requested you specifically. Did he say why? Who was with him? He's been informed of my investigation, then? It's no secret you've been poking about town and the Abbey, sticking your nose in the rot. I hope your prying has borne fruit, or Piero's neck will meet the sword. Oh, I've done my best with the time I've had. Oh, but we need more time. If only I had a couple more days. Whatever happens, Piero knows you've been working hard on his behalf, and he's grateful for it. Only, Andreas. What is it? It's just... You know as well as I do, the Baron was not a good man. I'm not saying he deserved what he got, just... You think hard about what you tell the Archdeacon, and what you tell him, and who you tell him about. You understand? You don't need to worry. I've found nothing that implicates you. You didn't do it, did you? It's not me I'm worried about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shout. You don't deserve that. All I'm saying is, if in your searching you heard anything about a certain sister, I'd ask you to keep it to yourself. I'll do what I can to protect the sisters from censure. I mean, yeah, okay. That's all I would ask of you. I will return to Kirsau. The abbot will be having a fit right about now. Be well, Andreas. I will pray for Piero's deliverance tonight. You should as well. Oh, that's got me asking questions now about Matilda. Yeah, the Archdeacon arrives. Let's quickly check the old journal. Jacob Estler, the Archdeacon of Freisberg, has arrived in Kirsau Abbey and will be questioning people connected with the Baron's death. He wants to question me in the chapter house at Nons. Crud. So, time is running out. 17 hours, is that right? That's probably it. So, how are we going to do this? We'll probably only get a chance to interrogate one more person. And we've got, 3 more to go. Really clean this up. Oh, yeah, we know all about this. Alright, let's get to bed. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Let's go to sleep. Yeah, the only interrogation we've done so far is with the widow, Ottilia Kemperin. And I really don't think she even could have killed the Baron. Even though she does have a pretty strong motive. So that leaves the others. I feel like we got a decent chunk of questioning from, where am I going here? Brother, Ferenc. Andreas, when are you coming home? Dad, I'll be home soon. I just need to finish this commission for the Abbey. Good. But finish that masterpiece too. It's time for you to get on with your career. Yes, of course. You're not going to quit like you quit university, are you? No, of course not. Good. If it weren't for the work I did for the rector, you never would have had the opportunity. Most people never get a second chance after they throw something away like that. I know, Dad. We'll see you when you get back. Sure, alright. Yikes, so we need to do well here. Sabine. Oh, it's you. I only have the picture of you, the one my brother Daniel made. I really don't have any idea what you're like. Are you really that pretty? Do you really want to get married to a stranger? So, what are you like? Please don't imagine me telling you in your own mind. Why? You'll imagine I'm wonderful or imagine I'm horrible. Either way, it's not fair to me, is it? The painted you, the imagined you, the real you? To none of us. Fair. I'll see you soon, Andreas. For real, I mean. I suppose that's true. Until then. Oh, we're back here with Prester John. Welcome back, Andreas. It has been too long since you had graced this court with your presence. Apologies, Your Majesty. My mind has been preoccupied by a tragedy at Kirsau Abbey. What manner of tragedy? The murder of a nobleman, a close friend of the Prince Bishop of Freising. My friend, Brother Piero, is the abbot's only suspect. I know that he could not have done it. How do you know? Examine your assumptions, my son. In addition to having no motive and violence not being part of his character, he's not physically capable of the act. He is of limited strength and has a palsy in his hand that makes holding a paintbrush difficult. It's inconceivable that he would have the strength and resolve to kill the Baron with a blow to the head. A whole lot of inconceivable shit happens on this hell of an earth, Andreas. I just don't believe he could have done it. There has to be a better explanation. So what do you intend to do about it? When I'm brought before the Archdeacon, I'll tell him what I know about other people who had motives to kill the Baron. I have to believe he'll see there are much more likely suspects than Piero. Why have you taken this task upon yourself? I have to save Brother Piero's life. He has no one else to help him. I want to find the real killer. If the Archdeacon's investigation threatens the Abbey, I want to protect it. I mean, I do want to... we want to save Piero's life. Your love for and devotion to him speak well of your character. A man who is humble before his elders honors also his gods. Of course you'd say that, old man. He is right, though. If Andreas doesn't help him, no one will. Exactly. I understand why the brothers and sisters cannot act against the abbot, but I must do something. Why does that shit-for-brains abbot care about the death of a useless fart like Lawrence Rothvogel anyway? You're being too hard on the abbot. The Baron has many good qualities. Well, I can't disagree with your assessment of the point. Powerful people get upset when other powerful people are murdered. This could threaten the existence of the Abbey. I mean, yeah, that's it, I think. Oh no, the Abbey! Who gives a damn about those hypocritical assholes? In any case, Andreas' ability to prevent Piero's death depends on the judgment of the Archdeacon. Wise or foolish, corrupt or just, the Archdeacon will be the first and possibly final arbiter of Piero's guilt. Andreas must win the Archdeacon to his side, using the tools favored by men such as him. Reason, wisdom, authority, honesty? Reason? Pah! When's the last time you met a man who was truly ruled by reason? Wisdom? Wisdom can be shared, but the audience may not comprehend it. Honesty? You must be honest in all things, Andreas, but many are not willing to accept the truth. And the cost of honesty can be high. Authority? Despite your talent, you are merely an artist. He has been invested with power by the Prince Bishop of Freising. You have no authority with him. If reason, wisdom, authority, and honesty cannot triumph, what am I left with? Hope. Lies. Truth. Above all, faith in Providence. Well, what do you plan to tell the Archdeacon, Andreas? There were other people in Kierso and Tassing who had motives to kill the Baron. That is true. I think we might have to tell him that. The widow Kemperin despised Lawrence for maiming her late husband. Maimed? How? The Baron beat him savagely following an argument about trespassing on the Kempers' farm. His injuries were so severe that they never truly healed, and he needed a cane to walk. He died less than a year ago. Attilia is certain it's because of the wounds he received that day. Why did the two quarrel? My understanding is that it was simply an argument about the trespass that got out of hand. And now I suppose that she will lose their home. My apologies, his home. For what reason? Should an aged widow not live out her remaining days in peace? She should, but she won't. She didn't squeeze out any little Kempers for old Rannick, so away the house goes. Yes, because women must fight to own property. We exist on the sufferance of men. Whether law is just or unjust is immaterial. The widow's motive is clear. I mean, it is, but I don't think she could have done it. It's true and terrible. It's easy to understand Attilia's anger. That's an extreme view. Women are not prisoners of their husbands or their sons. I mean, her motive is clear. The injustice of a law is not immaterial to those who suffer at the expense of it. A good man does not sit idly by while injustice flourishes around it. What the hell is a half-trained artist with half a university degree going to do against the might of the Holy Roman Empire, idiots? You have established a motive for the widow, Andreas, but there is another matter that requires inquiry. While women and men are equal in most natures, women are weaker in strength. How could a woman of Attilia's age overpower a healthy man like the Baron? I wondered that myself. Have you found anything that she could have used to kill the Baron? Yes, her husband's cane. The head is missing. It seems to have broken off. Poetic, if killing the Baron was the cause. Are there any others you suspect? Prior Ferenc feared the Baron would report his occult interests to Inquisitors. How so? Prior Ferenc and the Baron shared a fascination with the occult texts. The Baron was pressuring the Prior to performing a ritual for him while he was visiting Kirsau. When Ferenc refused, the Baron threatened to turn him into the Inquisition. How did you come by this knowledge? I found written evidence, a letter from Ferenc to the Baron in which he discusses all of these matters. It is a dangerous thing, a monk dabbling in the occult. His very soul could be in danger. Forget the soul. He could have been defrocked, excommunicated, even killed, all for a little curiosity. Better to stay stupid and ignorant. That's what I say. Heh. We're well aware. There is a great power in magical books, but it is a power that can be used responsibly. I've read many of the same books Prior Ferenc has. Most of them are harmless nonsense. Yeah, responsibly. That is not the position of the Church, who view these matters suspiciously in the best of circumstances. Prior Ferenc feared loss of his status, his life, and even God's grace. Men have killed for less. How might the Prior have accomplished the deed? I'm not certain. I haven't found anything that I think he could have used as a weapon. It would be a challenge to convince the Archdeacon that a Prior committed a murder this foul. If you mean to suggest that Ferenc is the suspect, you must find a weapon to convince the Archdeacon. Are there any others you suspect? I found no other suspects. You have brought a worthy mystery before this court, Andreas. I pray to God we have granted you the insight you need to face the coming challenge. Thank you, Your Majesty. I am prepared to meet the day. Before you go, Andreas, there is one more thing to consider. You will be summoned to the Archdeacon to tell him what you know. But you need not tell him everything. I think I understand. Well, what do you mean? She means you should only tell him about the people you don't mind dying. That's one way of putting it. There is a place for a noble lie. This is not one of them. Why? The Baron is dead? All of the people with the motive to kill him suffered, either directly or indirectly, from his wickedness. Simply mentioning a name to the Archdemon may endanger them, whether they had anything to do with the murder or not. Right, no point throwing everyone waist deep into shit. I protest any attempted deception, but you must ultimately follow your own conscience, Andreas. Little time remains before you must stand before the Archdeacon. Use it wisely. Oh God, I must. Until we meet again, Andreas, God be with you. And also with you, Your Majesty. Oh boy. Time to get to work. Alright. After that, that long section... I think that whole section was basically the game telling us, the player, like, hey, you better get a move on. Or you better finalize your investigation. But the thing is, these things take so much time. There's Hans, Johann. Who do we want to speak to? We wanted to speak to... not the Bowers. To Otto, right? Yeah, we wanted to ask Otto to help us dig up... Where are we going? Yeah, isn't he here? Isn't it Otto Zimmerman? There he is. Okay. Yeah, to see if we can dig up Gerhardt's grave. Afternoon, Andreas. Heard that Baron friend of yours was killed up at the Abbey. It was a terrible tragedy. The world's lost a great man. My mentor, Brother Piero, has been blamed for the crime. I'm surprised he wasn't killed sooner. Yeah. Yeah, it seems he had enemies at the Abbey and in town. Ha, you got that right. Can't think of anyone in Tassing who liked the man. Anyway, did you need something? Otherwise, I got things to do. I don't think you can help me dig up a grave at the Abbey. Yeah, well, hang on. What's your problem with Lorenz? He treated Lucky terribly, and Lucky is a good man. That, I think, is reason enough. But it's not my place to discuss Lucky's troubles with you. If you want to know more, ask him yourself. I see, perhaps I'll do that. Anyway, do you think you could help me dig up a grave at the Abbey? Depends. What's in the grave? I believe something might be hidden there. It could be related to the Baron's murder. Something more than a dead monk, you mean? It's a weird place to hide something. But then again, it's not every day people go digging around in a graveyard. I hope. Did you talk to the abbot about this mischief? Wouldn't want to get my grubby hands all over this stuff without his permission. Of course. The abbot knows all about it. The abbot's not going to let us at all. You're not a very good liar, Andreas, but it's alright. I don't care what the abbot thinks. I'll take a few hours, especially if I'm digging alone. You got time for that? Okay. In that case, let's wait. Alright, don't be too long. I got actual work to do. Oh, okay, so this is the decision we're going to have to make now. Because it looks like... I think whomever... I get the impression that exhuming this grave will finish the investigation into Brother Ferenc. Which means that we would have investigated the Widow Ottilia and Brother Ferenc completely. But I would still like to... Oh, I need to have a word with Lucky Steiner. Like, I think we can only pick 2 of them. I think we can only do 2 investigations properly. Because I don't think we're going to necessarily have time to investigate the other 2. But we might be able to get something. Alright, so first of all... let's go talk to Mother Cecilia. I thought she would have been in the garden. Should we talk to Mother Cecilia? God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Mother Cecilia. Is there something I can help you with? I need to talk to you about Sister Matilda. I warned you not to go to the library. I should have known you wouldn't listen. What happened to Sister Matilda was tragic. What did happen to Sister Matilda? The records only said that she left the Abbey for some time. I omitted the details from our written records for several reasons, none of them noble. Lorenz, the Baron, tried to seduce Sister Matilda. She rebuked him several times. So one morning he attacked her in the meadow on her way to town. He dragged her into the woods. Sister Matilda is a strong woman, but her resistance was met with violence. When pilgrims in the shrine found her, she had been beaten so badly she could barely move. My God. I'm assuming the Baron didn't suffer any consequences for this attack. No, I knew he wouldn't. I also knew that bringing the attack to the attention of Father Matthias would put him in an impossible position. The Baron would suffer no consequences, but the abbot would have refused his continued patronage. I concealed the assailant's identity from the Father Abbot and had Sister Matilda taken to a hermitage in Mittenwald. Mittenwald is a small municipality known for its transalpine routes between Augsburg, Innsbruck, and Milan. Massive amounts of coin and trade pass through Mittenwald each year. Okay. She stayed there under the care of the sisters until she recovered and could return. You really don't think the abbot would have taken action against the Baron? How did Sister Matilda feel about seeing the Baron again at Curso? Yes, she deserved better than to be shuffled away to a hermitage. You're right, of course. I can only pray that the Lord will repay the debt that I incurred. You really don't think that the abbot would have taken action against the Baron? Yeah, how did Sister Matilda feel about seeing the Baron again? Andreas, if you want me to tell you that I think Sister Matilda killed the Baron, I won't. Seeing him was hard for her, of course. She defended her virtue from the Baron, but her injuries were severe. Her body recovered in time. Her mind, I don't know if it ever will. She still fights him, in her dreams. She wakes in the night screaming, soaked in her own sweat. So it affected her, yes, it still affects her. That doesn't mean she wanted to kill the Baron. It certainly doesn't mean she actually did. Sister Matilda is a faithful servant and friend of Christ. I believe that truly, Andreas. She is respected and beloved by this community for good reason. I think Brother Volshov knew the Baron attacked her. He cautioned me against bringing her up with the Archdeacon. No, he didn't know. Perhaps it will come to light now that the Baron has been murdered, but she didn't tell him before. But their relationship is more... Andreas? He didn't know. She's assured me she told no one else in all this time. No one. And if she chooses to tell anyone now, it hardly matters. I see. Do not mention Sister Matilda to the Archdeacon, Andreas. I do not believe she could have done this. Just because you believe it doesn't mean it's so. I mean, of course. God bless you, Andreas. Okay. So, I mean, that was pretty productive. Oh, I mean, but we've got to decide what to do with this information now. I mean, I think... So, I mean, Lucky for sure we need to interrogate, without doubt. So should we see if we can have a quick chat with Lucky? Well, hang on, is Mother Cecilia going to say something else? God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Mother Cecilia. Something I can help you with? No, until later. Okay, no, so she's kind of... She's been really helpful, actually. Hang on, got a pet mouse fanger. Hang on a second, that spade has blood on it. What's that about? The shovel has blood on the blade. Not normal. I think Sister Matilda uses it in the garden. I should ask her about it. Okay, well, where is she? In fact, where are all the nuns? Not in the aquarium. Is this a thing? View of you, smells so fresh. Okay, so wherever the nuns are, it looks like we don't have access to them right now. Would they be in the shrine? They're not in the shrine. Oh yeah, they are in the shrine. There they are. Elizabeth, Gertrude, Margaret, and Matilda. Let's see if we can have a natter with her. God bless you, Master Maler. May I ask you some questions, Sister Matilda? You know Mother Cecilia doesn't like us talking to men unless it's truly necessary. This concerned the murder of the Baron. I have to ask you about your shovel. The garden shovel? I wouldn't say it's mine. It belongs to the Abbey. I use it more than the other sisters. There's blood on it. I recently used it to kill baby rabbits in the garden. The other sisters are too squeamish to do it. I didn't clean it because it was going right back in the dirt anyway. But why bring up the shovel? Oh, I understand. No, I didn't use it to kill the Baron. A man is not a rabbit. Yes, Sister Matilda, did you receive a strange note recently? That's a good question. Yes, how did you know? Others have received notes as well. What did it say? Here, look for yourself. Remember what he did, the violence you suffered, the red bird flies, Matins, chapter. Rothvogel, the red bird. I found it in my bed in the nuns' dormitory. You can keep it if you like. In your bed? Who could have put it there? The only person allowed beyond the wall, beyond the garden, are the sisters. I can't imagine any of them making this. Mother Cecilia and Sister Illuminata have beautiful handwriting, but both of them have been so kind to me. Thank you for your time, sister. God bless you, Master Maler. So, the handwriting, could it be Mother Cecilia or Illuminata? It couldn't be. Could it? This has just opened up more questions now. I mean, if she's saying none but the nuns could have gotten into her room, that makes sense. And the nuns could certainly move around the Abbey. But, well, firstly, Matilda... there's still... We're missing something here, for sure. Sister Matilda claimed that the shovel has blood on it because she uses it to kill rabbits in the garden. Found the shovel that Sister Matilda uses in the garden. Yeah, so we know all about that there. Okay, well, guys, quick break here. But when we get back, it looks like we are slowly piecing together the background pieces of some of these other characters. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.